Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Burly Talk number 4. It's already number 4. And here we're talking today about.
Hello, everyone, and
Oh, my sound. Let me just close that to make sure that. I hope it's still live. Okay, it's still live. Cool. I thought I had to keep the window open, but now I have echo. Anyway, so we are on Burly Talk number 4, and last week we talked about who you are and that you get to decide who you are. And then today we're going to talk about who you're meant to be. So, and I don't really, well, I mean that in who you want to be together with your just the abilities that were born with you, plus simply the best version of yourself. So sometimes we don't get the best versions of ourselves, and that's my cat. Give me a second. Uou! Entra. Você também, Black, entra logo. Entra! Não tem tempo. Entra. Pronto, entrou, pronto. Agora fica os dois aqui quietinhos. Jesus! Que miado, gato. So you couldn't see it, but that was me opening the doors to my cats because, yeah, so noisy. Anyway, getting into it. So first, review of last week. So what's something surprising about last week for you? Was it maybe an item that you added to your list and then you had evidence for? If you dig really deep, you're gonna come up with the evidence to everything that is on your list. And sometimes it can be surprising. Sometimes those are things that we don't focus on, or those are things that we forget. And so what was it? Or maybe it was something, maybe you got the chance to ask a friend or a family member about an adjective, and maybe that was it. Like, oh, I didn't know I came across like that. So think about that. And then today's topic. So today's topic is don't be afraid of letting go of who you believe you are so that you can become who you are meant to be. And this is probably one of my favorite growth quotes ever. We sometimes, with that list, the list that I just had you do, we feel so attached to that. So some of those things might be, oh yeah, I didn't realize that. Oh yeah, I kind of do that. But some things will hit really, really deep in your heart. Some things will be, well, I believe I'm this kind of person. I've made this choice and I'll not move. This is who I am. And you're not wrong, of course. That's who you are. But that doesn't mean that has to be static forever, So you're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to change. That's your life, We are evolving. How sad would it be to stay at the same place for like your whole 80, 90, 100 years on this earth, So, yeah. And then I feel like we are called to becoming the next thing and the next thing we are supposed to be. But we are so attached to that identity that we resist it so much. And I get that. There are several reasons why we do that. Sometimes it's because you don't want to disappoint other people or yourself, and you've hold on to that identity for so long. It feels like you can't let go. What will other people think of me? What will my loved ones think of me? What How am I going to introduce myself if I'm not that person anymore, And sometimes it's just a protection, because stepping up to the next you is hard. And exactly this is the point I'm going to talk about today. And I will share a personal experience on how those things play out. So, yeah, think about that. And it might take a while for everything to really click, because it's a big, big topic, actually. Then what it looks like when you're called to, when the chance comes, for you to step up and be the next hot thing. So first, it's kind of what we've been doing this month. And that's why I put things this way. So first, you create the ground. You will own who you are. You will look for how you can improve a skill or something. You put yourself out there online. You get into a mindset course. You're going to buy a book that has a topic that really interests you, on meditation or whatever you are, psychology, but things that relate to your personality. And some things who are not. Maybe, it's like driving. Maybe you put in your head like, oh, I'm not a driver. But maybe like, oh, yeah, it would be so good for me if I actually drove. It would be so much easier if I could just get a car and drive when I want to. So there is absolutely no limit to what this could be. And first you create a ground. So you're like, yeah, this is who I am. You create a list, and then you're like, yeah, and this is who I want to be. Maybe it's about like a top one that always comes to my mind is like flexibility. Everybody wants to be more flexible, and then you start doing the work. So if it's a course, you're going to take a course, you're going to do the exercises, and it can either be really, really straightforward, the way it feels like. So you get into a routine and then you do it. Maybe if it's going online or something, maybe you create a routine to post on Instagram or whatever, and then you do that 2-3 times a week. If it's a course, then you do it, and then maybe you complete it from A to Z. Sometimes it can be a bit, for me, for example, the way it looks like is once I get into something that I want to do, and sometimes things that I don't even know that I want to do, although it'll show up for me. It's a bit all over the place, but that's how I am, and that's okay. So I'll maybe, get a book on the topic, and then I'll read half of the book, but then I'm still on that topic. And then I get a course online, and then I watch a few episodes, not everything. And then I'm like, okay, I'm still on the top. And then I see someone is going to talk about it. And then I go to that talk. And then it's a bit, here and there. I don't really follow like anything linear, because I like to have the chance to just be spontaneous. That's very, very important for me. And so, yeah, here and there. And maybe I will not finish the book. Maybe I will not finish the course. But I'm still following my heart, guiding me towards what I want to do and be, So you can look at it, depending on your personality and your style, it can look very different. Maybe you're a person who really completes things A to Z, and then that's what it will be like for you. And then I will guide you through the process. I'll give you a few examples of my personal life through pictures. So first, something is going to happen. You'll be called for. There will be a situation in which you can use that. The situation can be fabricated. So maybe, if you got into a dance course, I'm always bringing back to burlesque and to dance, of course, because we're on Burly Talk. But let's say you have the chance to perform. And that could be fabricated. So you can get into a course, we have showcases, for example, at the school, or, if I'm offering a course that ends in a show, or, anything like that. Or it could be a surprise. Maybe you don't expect it. Maybe a friend calls you. Oh, I know you've been doing these dance classes. I have my birthday party, whatever. Would you like to dance? So it can be just a surprise. And I love this picture because it encapsulates two things. First, mind blown, because it can be like that. I was in a situation like this a few weeks ago. I felt, for me, that specific one was a surprise. I knew I've been working on, in my case, it's about leadership skills. And I knew I was working towards that. And I thought I was creating the ground for something. But in the end, it kind of hit me. And I felt also a bit like that, surprised. And at the same time, a little bit like, what the fuck? So it's a mix, and you might even go through all of those feelings, because it can be something like I just told you about a show, but it can also be a bomb, that drops, something bad. It could also be that, that's something that's asking you, what are you made of? Are you ready to be tested on those things you've been working on? Are you ready to go to the next level or not? Yeah. Then next comes, and maybe you go through all of those things, like the denial, grief, like the, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, I'm not sure, like steps, into acceptance. Then magic happens. And this, between the first picture and the second one, this is the toughest you'll get. Maybe you cry, you doubt, you think it's not for you. That's what I did. I thought about quitting. I cried, I drank. Normally I do, I like my drink, but it was with the idea of transcending, what I'm thinking. And just, like, when you're after a breakup and you're like, you know what, I'll just be like drunk in my bed, just watching sad movies and having chocolate, that kind of thing. So after the deep, it comes the magic. And the magic part will come, and I must say, probably whether you decide to step up or not. Because that breakthrough, that first situation could be to show you that you shouldn't be doing that, or you're still not ready. And that's when you decide to, like, step away from that. Or it's there to show you that you're actually made of iron. And you're going to walk through those flames. And you're going to come out there. And then the magic will take place. And I swear, it feels like a video game. If you've ever played like video games, I'm a big geek. When you level up your character, like I'm talking about like RPG kind of games, first person. If you never played, it's okay. I'll explain. So basically, when you level up, you have a character, and your character has different stats like health and charisma, intelligence, several things. And they all have numbers, and you can improve them, little by little, just like in life, like you learn a new language, you improve in charisma, this kind of thing. And when you level up in some games, you gain a number of points that you can distribute into those things. And it's crazy because that's exactly what it feels like. And for me, and I will give you my personal again, I'm here into the show, sharing with you my personal experience with that. It felt sudden. It felt very sudden. I was literally mid-sentence talking to someone when it dropped. It was like magic. That's why I have the magic one. Give me a second. Sorry, I heard some noise. I was like, what is going on? It's nothing. Anyway, and it was so I'm still a little amazed thinking about that, because if you've been doing the work, you actually gathered so many tools that if you're ready to go through the fire and flames and you're ready for it, it will feel like a gift, because what it's actually asking for is this. Wear your crown, queen. Everything improved. And then the very funny thing is, then it feels like you're really unstuck. Sometimes when you prepare in the ground, it will feel like you're getting ready. And then maybe you're feeling like tired, exhausted, and because it never come, that breakthrough, it seems like it's not coming. Don't worry, it will come. It will come. I promise you. And that's when you're going to be asked. And if you make it through, it will feel freaking amazing. So that's it. That's more or less my story. And I will maybe, share more later. If you want to know more, let me know. What I would like to ask you then to do as you're journaling, because I don't want to, drag for like 40 minutes on that, is the most important thing for me when I was hit with it was bringing two things together. So first is the identity, and of course, not getting crazy attached to that identity, because that's the thing that I'm being asked to leave and called to up level. Plus all of that ground that I had been building. So all of the courses that I had taken, all of the people I met along the way, all of the things I learned, how can I use those things? How can you use those tools that you actually created together with this, with your chance and with your will to up level to actually get there? So, what is the point of all of those things you're learning if you don't apply them at the moment you need it the most? And having this is what I call a support system. Your support system is within yourself, because it can hit really hard when your chance comes. And the support system is maybe how you take care of yourself. Like, okay, let me step away from this right now and meditate, go for a walk. I feel a lot like jogging when those things happen, because I used to jog when I had there was another moment like that in my life before, and jogging really made me feel like I was running away from things. And why not put two and two together? It's like healthy habit plus release, and also exercising really helps, in general. Moving helps. So what is it? Journaling, for example, can be a thing. A friend, I called a friend, like, and like, let's have lunch together. I have something I want to share with you. And really asking for help. Maybe it's our group, on Patreon. If you're on Patreon with me, our community is so great. What are those things? And the people, maybe people at work. I talked to a lot of people that I met in my life. And think about what your support system is, because this is something that I was asked to do in the middle of the turmoil, and it would have been better if I had known before. Maybe, I guess. So have a thought. What is it? What is your new toolkit you've been working on that you can use when this moment hits? And yes, that's it. I hope it wasn't too like esoteric, hard to grasp, because now I'm thinking if my examples are too abstract. But maybe, if I come up with a clearer example, I will definitely share. So thank you very much for everybody who's watching this now, live or later. And I'll see you again soon. I will release the calendar for the Burly Talks for March soon. But again, it's gonna definitely be once a week, maybe different days, because as you know, I'm testing different days. Just say the day that would work for most people. So thank you so much for watching, and see you soon. Enjoy.